going to go through the anatomy review for the ankle and foot. We're going to start with the musculature for ankle plantar flexion. The primary or the greatest bulk comes from the gastrocnemius that originates at the medial and lateral condyles of the femur, posteriorly here, and then it inserts on the posterior calcaneus. The actions for the gastrocnemius are ankle plantar flexion and knee flexion because it crosses the knee joint and the ankle joint. So the gastroc is a two-joint muscle innervated by the tibial nerve. The soleus that gives more width to the shape of your calf is deep to the gastroc. It originates on the posterior tibia and fibula, and then here, and then inserts on the posterior calcaneus. The soleus is a one-joint muscle because it does not cross the knee. It is also innervated by the tibial nerve, and the group together, gastroc plus soleus, is considered the triceps surae. The other small muscle that does ankle plantar flexion and also assists very weakly in knee flexion is the plantaris. It's got this small muscle belly with a long tendon that also inserts down, kind of blends into the Achilles tendon with the gastroc and the soleus. So it starts on the posterior lateral border of the femur, lateral condyle of the femur. I lost my pointer here, sorry. And then is also innervated by the tibial nerve. Small but significant. Okay. Ankle dorsiflexion is performed by the tibialis anterior. It originates on the lateral tibia and interosseous membrane. It inserts on the first cuneiform and the first metatarsal. And so the tibialis anterior performs ankle inversion and dorsiflexion, is innervated by the deep perineal or peroneal nerve. Assisting in dorsiflexion, you have the extensor hallucis longus and the extensor digitorum longus. And those will actually be pictured in a different slide, so we'll wait till later to go through those. Ankle inversion is the tibialis posterior that originates on the interosseous membrane and the adjacent tibia and fibula. It inserts on the navicular and most of the tarsals and metatarsals. It assists in plantar flexion, primarily does ankle inversion, innervated by the tibial nerve. Tibialis anterior is originates on the lateral tibia and interosseous membrane. It inserts on the first cuneiform and first metatarsal, and it performs ankle inversion and dorsiflexion, and it's innervated by the deep perineal nerve. Ankle inversion is also assisted by the flexor hallucis longus and the flexor digitorum longus, which will be pictured in a different slide. And I'm hoping the volume on this is better today and that you can hear me a little bit better than the last presentation. Now on this, kind of in this lateral area, we have our ankle everters. You have the peroneus or peroneus longus. It originates on the lateral proximal tibia and interosseous membrane, and then inserts on the plantar surface of the first cuneiform and first metatarsal. So it's dotted line under here and inserts there. It acts at, obviously I said, as ankle eversion, but it'll also assist in plantar flexion, and that's innervated by the superficial perineal as well as the other two lateral muscles here. Peroneus brevis, as brevis says, it's a little bit shorter than the longus, so it's going to be here. It originates on the lateral distal fibula, inserts on the base of the fifth metatarsal. It also everts the ankle and assists in plantar flexion. And that's, just like the longus, it loops behind the malleolus, so that's where you get that angle for plantar flexion. The peroneus tertius, the smallest of the three, It starts on the distal medial fibula, goes to the base of the fifth metatarsal. So this will also assist in ankle eversion, but unlike the other two, it actually assists in dorsiflexion. And you can see because it runs here anterior to that malleolus. Digital flexion or toe flexion is the flexor hallucis longus, which originates on the posterior fibula and interosseous membrane, and it inserts on the distal phalanx of the great toe, or the big toe here. And so it flexes the great toe, it assists in ankle plantar flexion and inversion, and is innervated by the tibial nerve. The other flexor is the flexor digitorum longus. So in their names, you'll see flexor hallucis is the great toe, digitorum is all the other toes. It originates on the posterior tibia, inserts on the distal phalanx of the four lesser toes, right here. It flexes those four lesser toes, but also assists in ankle inversion and plantar flexion, and is innervated by the tibial nerve. Now the extensors, just like the other one, extensor hallucis, so the hallucis or hallucis goes to the great toe, the digitorum goes to the four lesser toes. This extensor hallucis longus originates on the fibula and interosseous membrane, inserts on the distal phalanx of the great toe, so it extends the great toe, but it'll also assist in dorsiflexion and inversion. And it's innervated by the deep perineal nerve. The extensor digitorum longus, as its name says, it extends and it goes to all the toes. So the fibula, interosseous membrane, and tibia is its origin. Its insertion is in the distal phalanx of the four lesser toes. So it extends the four lesser toes, assists in dorsiflexion, and is innervated by the deep perineal nerve. This picture is straight out of your book. It's on page 314. It's figure 20-27. But the interesting thing about this is that the muscles don't all just run straight from an origin to an insertion. So you see here, like your flexor digitorum longus, it starts medially here and then crosses over. The flexor hallucis longus starts centrally and then comes more medially. And what this is showing is that because these are crossing over each other, it's almost like a braid. And your braid is going to be stronger than just a plain ponytail. So that helps give some of that strength into that lower leg. This last slide, I just wanted to mention table 20-2. It's a nice summary of those lower leg muscles. It groups them into, their compartments, anterior, posterior, lateral, and then, kind of outlines all the motions because, they do help each other a lot. So that's all I have for the ankle and foot anatomy review. Bye.